Did you know Nigeria is one of the 165 countries that uses a left-hand drive? Initially, this driving method was not commonplace, but the influence of the driving style of a particular country on another country is quite undeniable. Find out what inspired Nigeria to change from right-hand to left-hand drive. Between the 17th and the 19th centuries, some Western countries were masters to some third world, or advanced countries which later became their former colonies. Notwithstanding, they must have had an effect on those countries. In the wake of utilizing vehicles on Nigerian roads, the nation adopted the right-hand drive of the United Kingdom. This is why most Nigerian roads are structured right-sided, to ease the stress of drivers, especially when taking turns, in addition to averting road accidents. Today, Nigeria remains one of the few countries that operate the left-hand drive but on the right side of the road, because the roads were constructed under the British colonial rule. It would have been physically taxing and financially demanding to re-engineer the roads when the nation decided to change to left-hand drive. Why did Nigeria change its driving pattern even when it was inconvenient at the inception? To answer this question, it is imperative to recognize how the left or right-hand drive emerged. Historical studies have revealed that approximately 9% of people are right-handed. This means that keeping to the right for most humans is born out of convenience. Let's turn the spotlight on something else. The 1756 London Bridge Act, also known as the English Law. This act was referenced in the first stage of adopting the left-hand drive, and it came to fruition when carts and wagons were the means of transportation in the UK. Years later, the United Kingdom still has remained left-handed when driving on its roads, although the British Department for Transport in the late 1960s made an attempt to switch to the right-hand drive. Nonetheless, it was discarded because the project would cost huge sums of money. For the record, Nigeria used right-hand drive vehicles until April 2, 1972, when the government of Yakubu Gowon authorized the right-hand steering drive changeover act. The act made it an offense to import or use banned right-hand vehicle in the country. 32 years after, the National Road Traffic Regulation legislated that no vehicle with apparatus fitted on the right-hand side shall be registered or driven on public roads. To support this stance, the Nigerian Federal Road Safety Corps affirmed that it will be perilous to violate the law. 50 years on, Nigerians are still seeking answers as to why the driving method was changed and what the benefits have been. Here are some valid reasons responsible for the dismissal of the right-hand drive. First and foremost, it is apposite to mention that the Nigerian government made the change 2 years after the Nigerian Civil War to prove its independence from the British and to illustrate its sovereignty to make decisions on its soil. Another reason that could have triggered the change might be based on the ease of transportation, business flow, and the fostering of cordial relationship between Nigeria and other African countries. It is crucial to remember that the West African region is comprised of countries colonized by France. This connotes that if any Nigerian driver needs to ply any of the Francophone region effortlessly, they would be required to drive according to the country's road pattern, the left-hand drive. If an exporter, for instance, needs to drive from Lagos in Nigeria to Lomé in Togo, the driver would have to learn to drive on the opposite side of the road. This is why the switch to the left made the experience much easier. In the past, the drivers of other countries used Nigeria's ports and borders, while Nigerian drivers delivered goods to those countries with difficulty due to different methods of driving. But now, the road patterns are equal. In the same vein, affordable cars must have been another cogent reason that propelled the change. In the 1970s, trending cars such as Renault, Peugeot, and others were made in France, whilst Volkswagen was made in Germany. These cars were designed for right-hand drive roads, but with a left-hand steering. Besides, they were extremely cheap. By stark contrast, UK cars in the aforesaid period were expensive. As such, they were unaffordable. This instigated people to opt for cars made in France and Germany. Astonishingly, nearly 166 countries, namely Afghanistan, Albania, the US, Canada, Italy, France, Georgia, Switzerland, Israel, and the Netherlands, Cambodia, Niger Republic, and others drive on the right side of the road like Nigeria. These are pointers to the fact that more countries now use the left-hand drive steering than the right, and that will make driving universally accessible for Nigerians in diaspora. Little wonder that the US recognizes Nigerian driver's license.